Bienvenidos a un nuevo vídeo tutorial
de Stanley la parábola.
¿Hacemos típica de
la parábola.
o simplemente jugamos de relax?
Este es un juego de 15 increíbles minutos que es un puto mod de Half-Life, pero que cada final revienta la cabeza más que el anterior y es la polla.
La polla,
Let's go.
Su secuela también es la polla. Blue, no sé si te fijaste, en la flecha, mírala en el monitor. ¿La ves?
Ah, hostia, no tengo que fijarlo ahora.
Vale,
That
esto
is so
es
cool.
una ligera sugerencia de que este juego es un poco meta, ¿vale? Y empezamos.
The end is never the end is never the end is. Loading. Ese loading queda súper raro.
Dios, igual tengo una patada. Pues sí, lo que comentábamos antes, en plan de que metieron una actualización en el juego hace relativamente poco, menos de un año, y no sé qué coño tiene. Pero igual lo descubrimos.
This is the story of a man named Stanley.
Más finales.
Oh, Dios.
Stanley worked for a
Esteban.
company in a big building where he was employee number 427. Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on the keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427 did every day, of every month, of every year. And although others might have considered it soul-rending, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job. And Stanley was happy.
And Stanley was happy. Me encanta
One
eso.
day, something very peculiar
Sí.
happened. Something that would forever change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow. No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi. Never in all his years at the company had this happened. This complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office.
Pa'lante.
¿Qué hacemos?
Creo que-
¿Qué hacemos?
Salir, porque si no es muy aburrido. Luego si tal sacamos este.
Sí.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean?
Ah, coño.
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
¿Qué hacemos?
De momento para adelante, creo yo. Porque no puedes abrir ninguna de estas puertas.
Bueno, tengo los logros desbloqueados, pero ya me hubiese puesto que no puedo saltar, ¿vale?
Vale.
Estaba comentando lo de cómo era, no tienes que ir a la sala de reuniones.
Vale, vamos.
Se viene.
Se viene. No es para nada Half-Life este juego, ¿eh? No se nota
No,
nada.
no es Half-Life. No sé dónde sacas eso.
When Stanley came to a set
Oh.
of two open doors, he entered the door on his left.
¿Qué hacemos?
Puerta de
¿Qué hacemos?
mierda.
Democracia.
Eso ha dicho el texto, sí, ¿no? ¿Eso es lo que quieres
¿Hacemos
hacer?
caso al texto o no hacemos caso al texto?
Esa es la pregunta, Blo. ¿Tú qué quieres hacer? ¿Qué te dice el corazón?
Tengo curiosidad por ver lo que pasa si haces caso al texto, pero también por ver si no le haces caso.
Wow, acabas de responder a mi pregunta con total precisión, Blo. Gracias.
Vale, me ha quedado por ahí sí la coña de ignorar al narrador totalmente a la izquierda. Digo, a la izquierda, a la derecha, perdón.
Venga, me parece bien. Vamos a dejarle hablar.
Vamos a hacer la dislexia RAM, ¿vale?
This was
Oh.
not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well.
Stanley,
Perhaps he would have
conocido.
stopped by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
La sala de empleados es la que estamos
Solo me
pasando.
estoy dando un paseo.
Ah, es esta.
Yes, truly a room worth admiring. It had really been worth the detour after all, just to spend a few moments here in this immaculate, beautifully constructed room. Stanley simply stood here, drinking it all in.
Ahora hay que pararse para siempre.
Lo está jugando Dim, entonces pues estamos
Hay un final aquí.
Tengo yo el poder.
Yes, really, really worth it being here in the room. A room so utterly
¿Qué
captivating
hacemos, Blue?
that even though all
¿Qué
your
hacemos?
co-workers have mysteriously vanished, here you sit looking at these chairs and some paintings. Really
A
worth
ver,
it.
toca tirar para adelante. No, no creo que te puedas quedar esperando aquí todo el puto rato.
Por favor, puedes, ¿eh?
But
Sí.
eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
La primera puerta es a su izquierda, vale. Pues la primera
¿Qué hacemos?
puerta a la derecha.
No hay ninguna. Hay una para adelante.
Pues para adelante.
Pues
Hola.
para
Venga.
adelante.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
El narrador es la polla, by the way.
Sí, estos narradores me encantan.
Oh Dios, el mejor final es. Lo puedes hacer desde aquí.
Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but in his eagerness to prove that he is in control of the story and no one gets to tell him what to do, Stanley left from the platform.
No era el final al que me refería, pero es el
Good
culo.
job, Stanley. Everyone thinks you are very powerful.
Perfecto.
He tomado un poco el control en esa situación. Estimé lo que había que hacer, pero
All
lo
of
he
his
hecho, ¿vale?
co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply
La parábola de
lost his
Stanley.
Que me he matado.
El final fue matarse.
Sí. ¿Qué hacemos?
No
Sí.
podía, pero no podía seguir
When
adelante.
Stanley came to a set
Sí,
of
sí
two
podía.
open doors, he entered the door on his left.
¿Por dónde?
Vale. Por donde antes, entiendo.
Sí. Derecha.
Vale.
Pues para adelante.
Ahora voy a
The
dejar
correct way to the meeting room.
de
and
pararme en
Stanley
los
knew
sitios
it
tanto.
perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first,
Dios,
just to admire it.
podemos hacerlo de saltar por la barandilla esa del medio.
Yes,
Joder, es que
this
qué bonita,
room.
es que qué
But
bonita.
eager to get back to business,
Increíble.
Stanley took the first open door on his left.
Estoy pesado.
Ni de coña. Bueno,
Somos malísimos. Tenían que habernos despedido hace
Stanley
un
was so
rebelde.
bad at following directions,
Chaotic
it's
Evil.
incredible he wasn't
esa
fired
barandilla
years
de ahí,
ago.
salta por ella, tío.
Se puede.
Sí.
¿Cuál? O sea, esa
La que tienes ahí enfrente, rollo que cuando la plataforma suba que
Look,
saltes hacia
Stanley, I
ella.
think perhaps we've
Ah, vale,
gotten
sí,
off on
sí.
the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that
Pero rollo
investing
tiene que
your
subir por
trust
ahí,
in
por favor.
someone else can be difficult.
Vale, pues
but the
hacemos eso.
fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley.
Whoa.
Someone you forgot. Really? I was in the middle of something. Do you have zero consideration for others?
Te
Are you
jodes.
not convinced that I want something bad to happen to you? Why? I don't know how to convince you of this, but I really do want to help you, to show you something beautiful. Look, let me prove it. Let me prove that I'm on your side.
Dame una chance.
Chance.
Dame una chance.
No, no te doy una chance.
No te voy a dar una chance, no.
Now listen carefully, this is important. Stanley walked through the red
¿Qué
door.
hacemos?
Por la...
Tengo curiosidad de si dice la verdad.
Bueno, pues... Sí,
Red.
no, por la roja, vamos a hacerle caso.
Venga, red.
Oh,
Me arrepiento.
thank God, you are willing to listen to me.
Vale, vale,
You
vale.
see that I really have wanted you to be happy all this time.
Oh.
The problem is all these choices. The two of us always trying to get somewhere that isn't here. Running and running and running,
no.
just the way you're doing right now.
Oh, no.
Don't you see that it's
Nos
killing
ha, nos ha atrapado.
I wanted to stop. We would both be so much happier
No.
if
Y luego
we
ya,
just
y luego ya
stopped.
die. Sería un
I think I have a solution. Here.
Vale.
Let me show you.
¿Dónde? Dios, tengo miedo. Yo no me acuerdo.
Dios, pa'lante. Yo creo que este es el final de el de más.
What do we want? What are we looking for? Hmm?
Mhm.
Here. Yeah.
¿Qué cojones?
Beautiful, isn't it? If we just stay right here, right in this moment with this place, Stanley, I think
Perfecto. Final canon, ¿eh?
I actually feel
Happy.
Happy. Mírale. Feliz.
Genial.
Precioso. Ya está. Hemos ganado. Creo que para sacar el final de esto tienes que tirarte por un lado o algo así. Rollo, mira para abajo. No tan para abajo. En plan, no puedes saltar por un lado o algo así.
A ver. No.
Pues Bueno, puedes volver.
Déjame. Bien.
No, wait. Where are you going?
Ay, lo siento.
¿Puedes volver? Creo que podía.
Me arrepiento.
Right. Where were we?
Mira,
Ahora
bueno.
vuelve a ir.
No, ¿dónde está? Aquí.
Lo cierra para siempre ya. Nunca.
Estoy un poco flipando pensando qué coño está pasando, pero vale.
Vale, no hay
Dios.
más diálogo. No hay más diálogo, tira para adelante ya.
Tira
Vamos por aquí.
Corre.
Oh no. Stay away from those stairs.
No.
If you hurt yourself, if you die, the game will reset. We'll lose all of this.
Oh, vale. Dios, este da
Pues
mucha
es verdad,
pena.
tío, que en este te tienes que matar.
Dios, este da mucha
Please,
pena.
no, Stanley, let me stay here.
¿Esa
Don't take this from me.
¿Puedes entrar por esa puerta? ¿De antes?
Hay una por de abajo.
Miramos, pero probablemente no.
No creo.
No. No tiene ni cómo.
O sea que el final aquí
Dice
es
algo
otra-
cuando llegas ahí.
Otra vez.
1, 3.
Oh, no. No, what are you doing, Stanley? Please, I'm asking you not to
Es
take
que
this away from me. I can't go
le
back
has
to what I
dado,
was
le has dado la
before.
felicidad,
If you
la
die, we'll
calma,
'both go back.
todo,
Why are you doing
y estás
this?
eligiendo matarte solamente porque es tu única elección.
Cojones.
Correcto.
Stanley, let's go back to the other room. My God.
¿Puedes?
Is
Venga.
this really how much you dislike my game?
Sí.
You'll
Este es
throw
el final
yourself
de
on this
hacerte
platform
sentir mal.
over and over to be rid of it? Yes. Perhaps you can. Perhaps you finally see what I'm talking about.
Oh.
I know you'll see that we can't be happy if we leave this place. You can see that, can't you?
Correcto.
¿Qué es esto?
Es paz. Esto es la paz. Esto en concreto.
Este es el problema. Este es el problema.
En plan,
Ya
estamos
está.
en paz y el narrador está en paz con nosotros.
Cortamos stream. Ya.
Y hemos
ganado.
ganado. Pero ¿sabes qué hemos ganado? Hemos ganado un billete al infierno.
¿Por qué?
Porque nos vamos de aquí.
No, perhaps not.
Le estamos destrozando el corazón.
Tío, el pobre narrador ya está desesperado. Ya a la segunda o a la tercera vez ya está en plan, no, por favor, Stanley, no.
A ver, venga. Venga, vamos. No, pero espera.
¿A qué?
Nada, él estaba tocando los huevos al narrador.
Vale.
A ver.
¿Vamos? Para adelante, pues.
Para adelante. Oh. Venga, fuera.
Maybe you're just getting a kick out of it. I don't know anymore.
Lo
I
siento.
just wanted us to get along.
Oh.
No quiero seguir jugando, me estoy poniendo generalmente triste.
You wanted to make a choice after all. Well, this one is yours.
Sí. Echarle la culpa a David que dibujó. Dios, venimos de David a David.
David.
Pero es que el creador del juego es David.
Sí, no sé.
Is it over? It's going to restart, isn't it?
Sí, lo
I'm
siento.
going back.
Oh, no. Ni siquiera terminó la frase.
Tío, pero ¿cuántos
Stanley knew
niveles
the
tienes?
office layout like the back of his hand.
¿Qué?
It was only a matter of time before he found the others.
Bastante.
Just a matter of time.
Y algunos se desbloquean por haber hecho algunos.
Vale, what if le hacemos caso a medias.
A ver.
Rollo, la puerta esa de la izquierda. No está.
No. Vayamos con ojos abiertos. ¿Qué hacemos?
Puerta de la izquierda. Digo,
Venga. Pero decisión a decisión hay que decir, no.
Vale.
A ver. Este estaba guay.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
Vale, estamos jodidos, compañeros, porque hablamos todo el puto rato.
More money.
¿Qué pone ahí?
More
What is
money.
hot?
¿Dónde?
What is hot? Profit.
What is hot?
Un poco,
Baby,
un poco al lado, ahí,
hot.
tengo ahí.
Work harder, hard worker.
¿Internet? ¿Podemos dejar de hablar de esto y tirar para adelante, por favor?
No.
No, quiero
Do not alter without consulting whiteboard.
¿Qué está pasando?
Tomorrow. No hay un tomorrow, me mientes. Esta es la mayor mentira del juego. No hay tomorrow.
Reflect. Me pregunto quién habrá escrito eso.
Ya, tío, joder, putos jugadores de
Venga, ahora sí.
Es que estamos
I
en todos
wonder.
lados. Estamos
Broom
iluminados
closet.
machacando reflejos.
Oh, Dios.
Stanley stepped into the broom closet, but there was nothing here, so he turned around
¿Qué
and
hacemos?
got back
Cierra
on track.
ese armario. Cierra.
There was nothing here. No choice to make, no path to follow, just an empty broom closet. No reason to still be here.
Está pasando de verdad. Blue, ¿quieres salir o no? Blue.
Joder, es que el
Baffling
es
that
muy
Stanley
bonito,
was still just sitting in the broom closet. He wasn't even doing anything.
Bueno,
At
está
least if there
bailando
was
un
something to
poco.
interact with, he'd be justified in some way. As it is, he's literally just standing there doing sweet FA.
Correcto.
No hay nada
Castigado.
con lo que interactuar en ese sitio.
Estamos castigados.
No.
Are you really still in the broom closet? Standing around doing nothing?
Castigados.
Why? Please offer me some explanation here. I'm genuinely confused.
Pero es que no ves lo bonitos que son estos paquetes, narrador. No ves lo bonitos que son, joder.
Castigado.
Es que cómo puedes
You do
decir...
realize there's no choice or anything in here, right? If I'd said Stanley walked past the broom closet, at least you would have had a reason for exploring it to find out. But it didn't even occur to me because literally this closet is of absolutely no significance to the story whatsoever.
Entonces, ¿por qué
Never
tienes
thought to
líneas?
mention it.
Entonces, ¿por qué estás hablando del armario? Eso mismo.
Exacto.
Correcto.
Maybe to you this is somehow its own branching path. Maybe when you go talk about this to a friend you'll say, "Oh, did you get the broom closet ending? The broom closet ending was my favourite." I hope your friends find this concerning.
¿Qué hiciste?
Lo hacen.
¿Qué hiciste?
Che,
Sí, vieron el final del
Stanley was
armario.
fat and ugly and really, really stupid. He probably only got the job
¿Cómo
because of
sabes?
a family connection. That's how stupid he is. That or with drug money. Also, Stanley is addicted to drugs and hookers.
¿Quién se lo ha dicho?
Oye, y este diplore que estamos
Well, I've
descubriendo
come
de
to a
repente.
very definite conclusion about what's going on right now. You're dead. You got to this broom closet, explored it a bit, and were
Sal.
just about to leave
Sal ahora.
because there's nothing here, when a physical malady of some sort shut down your central nervous system and you collapsed on the keyboard. Well, in a situation like this, the responsible thing
Sal,
is to
sal, sal,
alert
sal, sal,
someone
sal, corre, corre,
nearby
corre, corre,
so
lejos.
as to ensure that your body is
Adiós.
taken care of before it be coming to a staircase. Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
¿Qué hacemos?
Y claro, no se
Cor-
ha planteado para abajo.
dijo hacia arriba, ¿no? Pues para abajo.
Venga.
Pero me encanta que ni siquiera se han planteado que de verdad estés vivo. Simplemente corto la serie.
No, era coña para matarte.
¿Y esa logo?
Ah, mítico Half-Life.
Qué creepy. Sí, es verdad. Oh, Dios,
But
no.
Stanley
Mi
just
coche.
couldn't do it.
Gira,
He
gira,
considered the
gira. Vuelve
possibility
atrás,
of facing
vuelve
his
atrás,
boss,
vuelve atrás, vuelve atrás, vuelve
admitting
atrás.
he had left his
No.
post during work hours. He
No,
might be fired for
lo ha
that.
vuelto a hacer.
And in such a competitive economy, why had he taken that risk? All because he believed everyone had vanished? His boss would think he was crazy. And then something occurred to Stanley. Maybe, he thought to himself, maybe I am crazy. All of my co-workers blinking mysteriously out of existence in a single moment for no reason at all? None of it made any logical sense. And as Stanley pondered this, he began to make other strange observations. For example, why couldn't he see his feet when he looked
Es
down?
verdad.
Why did doors close automatically behind him wherever he
Yeah.
went? And for that matter, these rooms were starting to look pretty familiar. Were they simply repeating?
Correcto.
No, Stanley said to himself, this is all too strange. This can't be real.
Yo vi el coche y me di cuenta.
He came to the conclusion that had been on the tip of his tongue. He just hadn't found the words for it. I'm dreaming!
Toma.
He yelled. This is all a dream. Oh, what a relief Stanley felt to have finally found an answer, an explanation. His co-workers weren't actually gone. He wasn't going to lose his job. He wasn't crazy after all. And he thought to himself, I suppose I'll wake up soon. I'll have to go back to my boring real-life job pushing buttons. I may as well enjoy this while I'm still lucid. So, he imagined himself flying and began to gently float above the ground.
Oh,
¿Qué?
Then he imagined himself soaring
Ponte
through
encima del
space
coche.
on a magical starfield, and it too appeared. It was so much fun, and Stanley marveled that he had still not woken up. How was he remaining so lucid? And then perhaps the strangest question of them all entered Stanley's head. One he was amazed he hadn't asked himself sooner. Why is there a voice in my head dictating everything that I'm doing and thinking? Now the voice was describing itself being considered by Stanley, who found it particularly strange. I'm dreaming about a voice describing me, thinking about how it's describing my thoughts, he thought. And while he thought it all very odd, and wondered if this voice spoke to all people in their dreams, the truth was that, of course, this was not a dream.
No.
How could it be? Was Stanley simply deceiving himself, believing that if he's asleep, he doesn't have to take responsibility for himself? Stanley is as awake right now as he's ever been in his life. Now, hearing the voice speak these words was quite a shock to Stanley. After all, he knew for certain, beyond a doubt, that this was in fact a dream. Did the voice not see him float and make the magical stars just a moment ago? How else would the voice explain all that? This voice was a part of himself too. Surely, if he could just... He would prove it. He would prove that he was in control, that this was a dream. So he closed his eyes gently, and he invited himself to wake up. He felt the cool weight of the blanket on his skin, the press of the mattress on his back, the fresh air of a world outside this one. Let me wake up, he thought to himself. I'm through with this dream. I wish it to be over. Let me go back to my job. Let me continue pushing the buttons. Please, it's all I want. I want my apartment, and my wife, and my job. All I want is my life exactly the way it's always been. My life is normal. I am normal. Everything will be fine. I am okay. Stanley began screaming. Please, someone wake me up. My name is Stanley. I have a boss. I have an office. I am real. Please, just someone tell me I am real. I must be real. I must be. Can anyone hear my voice? Who am I? Who am I? And everything went black.
¿Qué cojones?
Ese es el mejor ending.
This is the story of a woman named Mariella.
What?
Mariella woke up on a day like
Mariela.
She arose, got dressed, gathered her belongings, and walked to her place of work.
Es
On
verdad.
this particular day, her walk was interrupted by the body of a man
No me
who had
acordaba de
stumbled
esto.
through town talking and screaming to himself, and then collapsed dead on the sidewalk.
Esto lo está
Soon
susurrando
turned to
mientras está en
go
el
call for an
suelo.
ambulance. For just a few brief moments, she considered the strange man. He was obviously crazy. This much she knew. Everyone knows what crazy people look like. And in that moment, she thought to herself how lucky she was to be normal. I am sane. I am in control of my mind. I know what is real and what isn't. It was comforting to think this, and in a
Es que esto
certain
es bastante
way,
jodido,
this
¿verdad?
made her feel better. But then she remembered the meeting she had scheduled for that day. The very important people whose impressions of her would affect her career, and by extension, the rest of her life. She had no time for this, so it was only a moment that she stood there, staring down at the body. And then she turned and ran.
Es que es tan puto frío todo el juego que me encanta. O sea,
Correcto.
está tan separado del propio individuo al describir las situaciones que es increíble.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Es increíble ese. Ese final yo no me acordaba, pero es genial.
Es mi favorito.
Stanley came to a set of two
¿Cuál?
open doors. He entered the door on his left.
Caso, vale.
Caso. Hemos aprendido nuestra lección.
Nos ha traumatizado de por vida y ahora hacemos
Yet
caso.
there was not
Ahora
a single
obedecemos.
person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley
Broma,
decided to
broma.
go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
A ver,
Para arriba, para arriba.
Up to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
vamos a ver al jefe. ¿Qué hacemos?
Creo que no puedes hacer nada por la izquierda.
A ver, miramos. No. El baño. Pero como no,
El baño de ejecutivos.
pero como no somos.
Como somos unos pringados,
LOL. Ah, vale.
Yo quiero ir ahí. A ver.
Puedes.
tanta obsesión tenemos con presionar botones que tenemos que presionarlos en todo momento.
Stepping into his manager's office,
No, le
Stanley
acabas
was
de
once
predecir
again
un ente.
stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this. What dark secret was being held from him? What he could not have known was that the keypad behind the boss's desk guarded the terrible truth that his boss had been keeping from him. And so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number, 2845. But of course, Stanley couldn't possibly have
cierto, no
known
lo sé.
this.
Claro, habría que descubrir el número. Vale, vamos a... Exacto. 1112.
Stanley just sat around twiddling his thumbs. Trying to Stanley simply began entering
Uno,
random
uno.
codes into the keypad, knowing full well the sheer statistical unlikelihood that this would ever result in a correct combination. If he knew that the combo was 2845, it would be another story in 2845.
¿Qué hacemos?
Vamos otra vez, sigue poniendo números mal.
7.
En cuanto llegues al 1112,
Nah, no, si no ha dicho nada.
Turns out
Ah, vale.
the panel's emergency override kicked in, and the door just opened all by itself. And Stanley got the hell along with the story. Well, whoop-de-doo.
Vamos a hacer esto, ¿verdad?
me encanta esta mierda, tío. Me encanta esta mierda. La puerta se abrió.
Sí, se abrió.
Pues tira para adelante. Vamos, tira para adelante.
Se ha tardado mucho en decir cosas, no creo que haya un final.
Pongo ahora la clave de verdad.
¡Sí!
Vale, ¿cuál era? 2,
2845.
4, 5. ¡Ah! Soy un genio.
Increíble.
Vale, no he dicho nada.
Y
Tienes que ir por la puerta abierta. No, porque esa no, de ahora.
una puerta secreta.
La tarta es una mentira.
Ya, bastante, eso sí.
Portal es otro buen juego para jugar,
Es un juegazo, o sea, yo el 1 sobre todo diría de jugarlo.
Cuando lo jugamos,
Portal, tanto el 1 como el 2 me parecen son de mis juegos favoritos. O sea que... Había otra opción.
Yo de hecho en Portal 2 descubrí que el pavo que hace de Wesley
Es Jameson.
es Jameson y es un humorista que ya me gustaba de antes, pero no relacioné los cables. En
El
plan,
JK Simmons. Es muy bueno, tío.
no es JK Simmons.
Stanley
El que hace la bolsa
Al Wesley.
Ah, Wesley. No, JK Simmons es el que hace el pavo ese rollo, el jefe de Aventura Science.
Ah, sí, sí.
Why did he feel this now?
No, pero el de Wesley es como un
Sí, es un
humorista británico más o menos conocido.
¿Cómo se llama?
No me acuerdo ahora, pero es amigo de otro que no me acuerdo. Pero es el de...
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read
¿Hay más
Mind
opciones?
Control Facility.
Sí. Escape.
Esa,
Escape.
escape, por favor.
¿Nos escapamos?
Obviamente.
Although this passageway had the word escape written on it, the truth was that at the end of this hall, Stanley would meet his
Espera.
violent death.
Encontremos nuestra propia muerte. Voto por
Of
encontrarlo.
course, Stanley thought better of it and realized he simply had too much to
No,
live
tampoco
for.
tengo tanto por
Still
ver.
on board with death?
Sí. Muerte, 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 muerte.
Ahora nos cae una pelota gigante, en la pum, ya está.
Sería genial.
Es que el
The door
final.
behind him was not shut. Stanley still had every opportunity to turn around and get back on track.
Muerte, muerte.
muerte,
At this
muerte.
point, Stanley was making a conscious, concerted effort to walk forward and willingly confront his death.
Pero puedo volver. No.
No, qué pereza.
Muerte, 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 muerte. Muerte.
Vale,
Toma.
os juro que por un momento me esperaba un jumpscare. Os juro que me esperaba un jumpscare.
Hemos ganado.
Nah. Cae bajo, pero no tan bajo.
Literalmente.
¿Qué tienes? ¿Las botas de Portal 2 o qué?
Y es lo de agarrarte de Half-Life 2.
Sí.
He reflected that his life had been of no consequence whatsoever. Stanley can't see the bigger picture. He doesn't know the real story.
Ese podría
Trapped
ser yo.
forever in his narrow vision of what this world is. Perhaps his death was of no great loss, like plucking the eyeballs from a blind man. So he resigned and willingly accepted this
No, que quiero ver cómo
to his
prestan eso.
brief and shallow life. Farewell, Stanley.
Agáchate.
Toma.
Lo sabía.
Increíble.
Farewell, Stanley, cried the narrator, as Stanley was led helplessly into the enormous metal jaws. In a single visceral instant, Stanley was obliterated, as the machine crushed every bone in his body,
Pero no ha pasado.
killing him instantly.
¿Interrogación?
Tengo dos opciones. Las cajas es una opción.
Las cajas son opción. No.
¿Quién es este nuevo narrador? Aparece
Es una
Carlos.
señora, por si no. Stanley. Anli Par.
Ali para.
Stanley para.
Anli Para.
It would be just a few minutes before Stanley would restart the game, back in his office, as alive as ever.
Oh Dios, esto
Exactly
es
what did
genial.
the
El
narrator
museo.
think he was going to
Sí.
accomplish?
Explora todo lo que
Every
puedas.
path you can walk has been created for you long in advance. Death becomes meaningless, making life
Mira,
the
esto es un
same.
poco.
Do you see now?
Esta es nuestra
Do you see
oficina.
that Stanley was already dead
Aquí no hay nada.
from the moment he hit start?
Y después de las dos puertas ya no hay nada porque es muy complicado. Prueba esas puertas, las de 001. No hay nada, ¿no?
¿Qué acabas de entrar en el desarrollo del juego o qué?
Sí, sí, básicamente
Un poco.
son assets.
¡Botones! ¡Botones!
¿Dónde?
Ahí, a la izquierda.
Ah, sí, es verdad. Porque es que no hemos tocado un botón.
A ver, lo
Buah,
desafío.
este es el más highlight del mundo.
Sí.
Button sounds.
Créditos.
Ordenadores.
Ordenadores.
Sí, sí, créditos, pero los de verdad. ¡Ah! Espera, un momento.
Ordenadores
No,
de
los he apagado. Soy imbécil. Créditos. David.
¿Verdad?
David, grande David. El William creo que tiene una charla en GDF.
Este
GDC.
David sí que es bueno y no David Gates.
Sí, sí, David Whedon es el puto amo. O sea,
Oye, pero.
y
me acabo de
William
puto
creo que
encantar.
tiene una charla en GDC
Me
que está
acaba de
haciendo
puto
bueno.
encantar este final. Me acaba de puto
Sí, sí.
encantar.
Bastante mejor era el de Mariela, pero que...
A ver, ¿qué hay
el
aquí?
Mariela, a ver, es que los dos, ¿cómo decirlo? Los dos son chocantes a su manera.
Sí,
Esto me
¿no?
mola mucho, porque a mí me encanta cuando de repente el juego te manda a una zona de desarrollo totalmente. Lo hacen también en Icy. En Icy
Ah, entonces
como-
te gusta Metal Gear Solid 4 cuando si no matas a las chavalas de repente te enseñan las tetas, porque a mí me encanta.
Ah, no, eso no, pero...
Ah,
yo lo decía
perro.
por la zona, yo decía por la zona esta blanca, la que te llevan...
Sí, la de Boom Room, pero ahí es donde te enseñan las tetas. Es lo que hace.
La oficina de
Pero que a mí no
Stanley.
me gusta que me enseñen las tetas, ¿no?
Pero a Kojima sí, eso es lo que
A
importa.
Kojima le encanta.
Pero tío, me pasa. Me recuerda mucho a Icy, porque en Icy tú si no sigues al narrador llegas a una parte donde hay un mapa totalmente boceto.
Si te giras a la derecha, si te giras 180 grados, lo spoileas el mejor ending a Blue. Ah, no, vale, no, pensaba que era otra cosa. La salida.
Eso
Bueno, en verdad estamos haciendo spoilers de todos los finales, pero...
Espera, vuelve por atrás, vuelve por atrás, vuelve por atrás. Izquierda. Por ahí.
Ya ha salido.
La
Salimos ya. Sí, porque total vamos a un map.
Oh,
faltaba
look
que
at
te
these
metiera
two.
una guía.
How they wish to destroy one another. How they wish to control one another. How they both wish to be free.
El on y el off que quieren destruirse entre sí.
O sea, puedes
Puedes apagar el juego.
Apaga
Y me
el juego.
ofende que no te lo desinstale. Darle a esto.
Vamos a apagar
Ya,
el juego,
como
¿vale?
Yoko Taro, en plan, quitándote la... Buah, spoiler. Quitándote la save data.
Como Flowwood.
Le di.
Can you see? Can you see how much they need one another?
Correcto. ¿No hay un on? Si no hay un off.
Perhaps not. Sometimes these things cannot be seen. But listen to me. You can still save these two. You can stop the program before they both fail. Push escape and press quit. There's
Corre.
no other way to beat this game. As long as
Dale,
you move
quit.
forward, you'll be walking
¿Cuiteo o no
someone
cuiteo?
else's path.
Cuitea.
Stop now.
Cuiteemos.
Comenta.
Le salvamos. Aunque me gusta que estaba diciendo nunca vuelvas a este juego y lo hicimos.
Correcto, sí, sí. O sea, esto está mal según el juego. Vamos. Por cierto, que no lo mencionamos un poco antes, creo. Algunos finales solamente se acceden. Bueno, espera.
Consiguieron
¿Qué?
los finales, lo mencionaste tú antes.
Sí, en plan, pero rollo, tienes que hacer un final y luego otro final para tener ese otro final.
Y depende de la habitación 420 de la
No, rollo, has desbloqueado tal, ¿qué hacemos?
When Stanley came to a set of two open doors,
A ver si
he
parece lo
entered the
logro.
door on his left.
Oh, he dicho
Debe
izquierda.
tener que detrás de la cámara de control mental, esta que ponían.
O sea, el final.
El final final.
Yet
lo que se
there was
decía
not a
con la
single
otra.
person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
No, eres de los que no gira la cámara subiendo escaleras.
Stepping into his
Ponle
manager's
ya, ponle
office,
corriendo.
Stanley
Dos
was
cosas
once
posibles.
again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Stanley was in such a rush to get through the story as quickly as possible, he didn't even have a single minute to just let the narrator talk.
¡Cállate!
That kind of anxiety isn't healthy, so he relaxed for a few moments with some calming
¡Qué hijo de
music.
puta! Me encanta.
Me encanta esta puta mierda. Voy a besar. Puto encanto.
Es increíble.
Feeling soothed and rejuvenated, Stanley calmly
Espérate ahora.
walked forward into the opened passageway.
Gracias.
Pero vamos a ver.
Abajo.
Aquí detrás de la sala de control de personas y de repente aparecen aliens.
Parece el He-Man.
Este juego simplemente va de explorar el mapa de forma random mientras...
A ver, sí.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
Dale, ahora yo voy con un poco de calma.
Luz.
Lucéame.
The lights rose on an enormous room
Esta
packed
sala me
with
encanta.
television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out?
Sí.
Monitoreame.
Now the monitors jumped to life. Their true nature
Despedido.
revealed. Each bore
Despedido.
the number of an employee in the
Búscalo aquí.
building.
¿Cuál era
Stanley's
nuestro número?
coworkers.
427.
The lives of so
Espera.
many
Bueno, pero
individuals
claro.
reduced to
La
a
referencia.
screen, and Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place
Ese tiene
where
error.
freedom meant nothing.
Qué pringado.
Tío, ¿por qué no enseña los números? Es que molaría más que justo en la cámara de Stanley estuviera un mono volando. A ver.
This mind
A ver,
control
cuatro-
facility
cuatro-
Otros
was
siete.
horrible to believe
2-7 ahí.
couldn't be
Ahí
true.
estamos.
Had Stanley really
Igual
been
éramos el
someone's
error,
control all this
No.
time?
Ah, vale, ahí
Was this
está.
the only reason he was happy with his boring job?
Pues es su
That his
oficina.
emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly?
Despedido.
A ver qué enseña. Lo rollo la de despedido.
Ah,
Era la que estaba
Era
ligada.
esa.
No sé, espera buena referencia.
despedido. Espera.
Es que hay varios.
Ah, Fire Day, hay una Fire Day.
A ver.
Justo al lado del tal.
No, un sitio normal.
No hay nada.
No.
Buah, es que esto es tan
He
típico de
refused
Half-Life.
to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control.
No puede ser.
Never.
No puede ser.
It was
Never.
unthinkable. Wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world?
A ver si.
Qué raro se me hace.
But here was the proof. the heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions.
¿Dónde?
Happy, or sad, or content. Walking, eating, working. All of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he would dismantle the controls once
No,
and
toma
for
el
all.
control. O sea, haz lo tuyo.
¿Dónde está?
Puedes tomar
Ni
el
puta idea.
control.
Sí, ese 5 no hizo mucho.
Mind controls idle awaiting input.
A ver.
Es un incremental, chicos, es un incremental. Hay que clicar.
¿On o no?
Oh, no.
On.
Oh, Stanley, you didn't just activate the controls.
Salíamos corriendo,
After they
salíamos
kept you
corriendo.
enslaved all these years, you go and you try to take control of the machine for yourself.
No.
Is that what you wanted?
No.
Control?
Sí,
Correcto.
quiero control. Quiero controlar mi vida.
I applaud your effort, I really do. But you need to understand, there's only so much that machine can do. You were supposed to let it go, turn the controls off, and leave. If you want to throw my story off track, you're going to have to do much better than that.
Pero...
I'm afraid you don't have nearly the power you think you do. For example, and I believe you'll find this pertinent, Stanley suddenly realized he had just initiated the network's
No.
emergency
Ya verás.
detonation system. In the event that this machine is activated without proper DNA identification, nuclear detonators are set to
No,
explode,
no puedes
eliminating the
conmigo.
entire complex. How long until detonation then? Let's say 2 minutes. Ah, now this is making things a little more fun, isn't it, Stanley? It's your
Super
time to
divertido.
shine. You are the star. It's your story now. Shape it to your
Mierda.
heart's desires. Oh, this is much better than what I had in mind. What a shame we have so little time left to enjoy it.
Ahora verás.
Moments until the
Puta
bomb
de
goes
esto.
off. But what precious moments each one of them is. More time to talk about you, about me, where we're going, what all this means. I barely know where to
Ya va el
start.
3.
3, venga, el 2.
What's that?
Ahí.
3,
No sé.
5...
You'd like to know where your co-workers are.
¿Hace que viste?
Está ahí,
Moment of
fijo.
solace before you're obliterated.
3.
All right, I'm in a good mood. You're gonna die anyway. I'll tell you exactly what happened
Te
to me.
vas a joder.
I erased them. I
Hijo
turned
de
off the
puta.
machine. I set you free. Of course, that was merely in this instance of the story. Sometimes when I tell it, I simply let you sit there in your office forever, pushing
Verdad, ¿no?
buttons endlessly
Sí.
and then dying alone. Other times,
Tres.
I let the office sink into the ground,
Darle al zoom.
swallowing everyone inside, or I let it burn to a crisp. I have to say this, though, this version of events has been rather amusing. Watching you try to make sense of everything and take back the control wrested away from you, it's
te jodan.
rich. I almost hate to see it go. But I'm sure whatever I come up with on the next go-around will be even better.
No funciona.
My goodness, only 34 seconds left. But I'm enjoying this so much. You know
Es un hijo
what?
de
To hell
puta.
with it. I'm going to put some extra time on the
Aquí pone un
clock
3,
right now.
incorrecto. 1.
These are precious additional
No
seconds.
importa esto.
Time doesn't grow on
Pero
trees.
puedes hacer algo.
Da igual cuánto
Oh dear
dures.
me, what's the matter, Stanley? Is it that you have no idea where you're going or
Que te
what you're
jodan.
supposed to be doing right now? Or did you just assume when you saw the
Incorrecto.
timer that
Genial.
something in this
Cuatro.
room was capable
De
of
arriba.
turning it off? I mean, look at you. Running from button to button, screen to screen, clicking on every
Que
little
te
thing in this
jodan.
room. These numbered buttons, no, these colored ones. Or maybe this big red button, or this door. Everything, anything, something here will save me. Why would you think that, Stanley? That this video game can be beaten? Won? Solved? Do you have any
Eres un
idea what
cabrón.
your purpose in this place is?
Este. Tiene que ser este.
Stanley, you're in for quite a disappointment. But here's a spoiler for you. That timer isn't a catalyst to keep the action
Ya lo
moving
sé.
along. It's just seconds ticking away to your death. You're only still playing instead of watching a cutscene because I want to watch you for every moment that you're powerless. To see you made humble. This is not a challenge. It's a tragedy. You wanted to control this world, that's fine. But I'm going to destroy it first, so you can't.
Joder.
Take a look at the clock, Stanley. That's 30 seconds you have left to strike. 30 seconds until a big boom and then nothing. No ending here. Just you being blown.
Oye, si pruebas a volver a la habitación de
Cling
antes.
desperately to your frail life. A way
Vale,
to
voy.
go peacefully. Another
Facility
choice.
power.
Make it count or don't. It's all the same to me.
Eres un cabrón de
All part of
mierda.
the joke. And believe me, I will be laughing at every second of your
Dios,
inevitable
corre.
life from the moment we fade in until the moment I
¡Eres
say,
un cabrón!
Honestamente, ha quedado muy épico.
Hijo de puta. A mí me encanta este final.
Sí, ha quedado súper
Sí.
épico. No voy a mentir, ha quedado súper épico.
Ese me imagino a Stanley alargando la mano al botón.
Wait, this isn't the right office, is it? Is this
Lo averiguó en el último segundo y no dio tiempo.
Hostia, le he cambiado la línea de diálogo.
When Stanley
¿Qué
came
hacemos?
to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Vete a la izquierda.
Venga.
O sea, vamos a volver a hacer el recorrido porque saltó una línea de diálogo antes e igual hay cambios. O sea,
¿Cómo que saltó una línea de diálogo? ¿Cómo que saltó una línea de diálogo antes?
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find. Coming to a staircase,
Claro.
Stanley walked upstairs. to
Arriba,
his
arriba,
boss's
arriba,
office.
arriba. El de abajo otra vez, no. Maldita sea, Bingo, gira la cama.
No.
Me sorprendió mucho escuchar que el narrador dijera, hostia, espera, esta no es su sala.
Final del baño.
Entramos, ¿no?
Standing.
Venga, sí,
A tope. Entra.
¿qué es esto?
Money in the morning, money in the baby, money in the break, money crispy. ¿Qué?
Qué cookie.
Toma. Cagamos. Cagamos muy fuerte.
Me gusta que esté más un easter egg que un final.
Sí, no sé por qué se abrió esta vez.
Ya. Pero es cute. ¿Y eso?
Toma.
Pero madre mía. A tope.
¿Será porque tú hiciste...
Para adelante, para arriba, para arriba, para arriba, para arriba.
Entonces puedes decir a dónde vas.
Esto es increíble.
O sea,
Toma.
tengo la sensación de que es porque has elegido controlarlo, entonces lo controla.
¿No estás dónde?
Que, espera, ese es
Volver a-
antes.
A ver, abajo.
Bueno, así me escucháis bien, ¿no, chicos?
Sí.
Tun, 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 tun.
No es que hay una pelota gigante encima, morir. Siguiente. O el ascensor no llega a ninguna parte. Veo venir eso.
Tiene pinta.
Te voy a mandar a la pata,
Primer final, entre tantas comillas.
primero de... Ya no sé,
Ya, el primero que hicimos, ya.
llevamos 5 ya. Y aún hay más.
Sí, hay 20 mínimo. 20 en esta versión. Y luego hicieron el DLC.
¿Hay cuántos?
Mucho. 20 y pico,
20 y pico.
Y si le das un botón otra vez, no sé.
Toma.
Tiro.
Te has quedado en la misma sala.
Vale, no hay más.
Hay más.
Me
Jo.
encanta, te quedas un ascensor subiendo eternamente hasta acabar en la misma sala.
Rápido.
Contraseña
Okay, I
Lightspeed,
think we all
corre.
know the drill by now. Blah, blah, blah. Dark secrets, the keypad. Stanley pushes some buttons. Oh, hey, look, it's a new passageway.
Toma.
Chaos supreme.
Ya estaba abierto.
Viendo los diálogos, esto es la hostia.
Sí, está aburrido el pavo.
Wow.
Dale.
Increíble. Lo ha...
¿Qué?
El texto ha cambiado.
Siempre cambia, creo, en esta fase. Creo.
Bueno, claro, esta fase no es
Stanley
una,
walked
¿no?
straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
But do we?
Mind
No,
control,
sí,
mind
sí, sí.
control, mind control.
My control.
Quiero ver si hay algún diálogo nuevo en ella.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself.
Never.
Did he have the strength to find out?
No.
No.
¿Por qué me da la sensación de que va a llegar un punto donde te digan, a ver, que ya lo has hecho, ya sabes lo que va a pasar, ¿qué pasa? ¿Vienes para probar la opción contraria?
A ver, porque en el de la escoba
Now
lo
the
hicieron.
monitors jumped to life, their true nature revealed. Each was the number of an
¿Estoy siendo
employee in the
controlado?
building. Stanley's convenience. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images
Esto es
on the
amoral.
screen, and Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing.
No me pagáis lo suficiente para esto. No te
This
pagáis.
mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe it couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring life?
4-7.
That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly? No. He refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it.
69, lo veo ahí, lo veo ahí.
Else's control?
Correcto.
Never.
69 está ahí.
Unthinkable.
Never.
Wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world?
Vamos.
But here was the proof. The heart of the
Tío, tira para el
operation.
facility power,
Controls
ni te lo
labeled
pienses.
with emotions. Happy or
Dale a
sad
ese off.
or content. Walking, eating, working. All of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life.
Pero,
For
¿y
he
si?
would dismantle the controls
No, qué
once
pereza.
and for all.
Pero, ¿y si?
Pero easy. Half-Life 2. Dios va.
And a rising chill of uncertainty.
Socorro. De repente sale el comienzo de Skyrim.
Yes. He had won. He had defeated the machine.
Victoria.
Unshackled himself from
Victoria.
someone else's command.
Yo he visto pájaros.
Freedom was mere moments away. And yet,
De hecho,
even
sí.
as the immense
Pero,
door slowly opened,
¿yo?
Stanley reflected on how many puzzles still lay unsolved.
No sé
Where
nada.
had his co-workers gone? How had he been freed from the machine's grasp? What other mysteries did this strange building hold? But as sunlight streamed into the chamber, he realized none of this mattered to him. For it was not knowledge or even power that he had been seeking, but happiness. Perhaps his goal had not been to understand, but to let go. No longer would anyone tell him where to go, what to do, or how to feel. Whatever life he lives, it will be his. And that was all he needed to know. It was perhaps
lindo todo.
the only thing worth knowing.
Puedes explorar esa
Stanley
zona si
stepped
eres interesado.
through the open door.
No. Se corta cuando estás un paso fuera. ¡Espera! Gira. Fue adentro. Adentro.
Alejó la oscuridad.
¿No puedes?
No, no puedo.
Pero se me hace raro que te hayan dado la opción de volver para adentro. O sea, rollo de moverte. Tiene
Stanley
miedo.
felt the cool breeze upon his skin, the feeling of liberation, the immense possibility of the new path before him. This was exactly the way, right now, that things were
Y se
meant to
encontró una
happen.
villa ya de señores con nariz muy gorda.
Stanley
y-
was
No se
happy.
me hace
En
que
Stanley
te
was
haya dicho
happy.
toma final feliz
Y ya está.
ponerte ninguna traba.
Es que este es el final normal.
Este es el final de Has hecho caso.
Sí.
Muy bien.
Entonces te da un final.
Never the endings, never the
Entonces es
endings.
culpa tuya no tener un final feliz.
Ya,
Espera.
culpa mía.
All of this
Espera,
time,
digo, yo me voy a tener que ir pronto, entonces podemos hacer
Stanley
el de
decided to
Standing
go to
ahora.
the meeting room.
¿El qué?
Perhaps he had
El
sent
Best
Mr.
Ending.
Memo.
Vale, venga.
Gírate 180 grados.
O sea, aquí.
Correcto. Oh, no.
¿Quiere quedarse ahí?
Claro.
Pues hacemos otro. O sea,
Vale,
cierra.
Tengo tiempo para dos.
Venga.
¿Sabes qué podemos hacer? Tirarnos, ¿te acuerdas? O sea, el de la puerta roja.
Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors. This was not the correct way to the meeting room.
Correct.
Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the
Porque además
employee
creo que
lounge
es el
first, just to admire it.
no lo voy a decir.
The lounge was sublime, a work of art.
Increíble.
Eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
¿Qué hacemos? ¿Volvemos o no?
No, porque además eso literalmente lleva al normal ending. Eso es como, bueno, cogí la puerta de
Stanley
esta
was so
persona y
bad
no
at
jugaba.
following directions.
Y en
It's incredible it
este
wasn't 5
saltamos
years ago.
o nos
Sí,
vamos.
sí, saltamos, pero saltamos a la
Look, Stanley,
barandilla.
I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here.
Pero es que
I'm not
morirse
sure
es tan
I'm
tentador.
really, I'm not.
La verdad.
I realize that investing in your trust
Ahí
in
hay
others
una luz,
can
ahí
be
hay una luz.
difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting,
Falta.
Stanley. Someone. What? Really? I was in the middle of something. Do you have zero consideration for others? Are
A ver,
you
un
that
poco.
convinced that I want something bad to happen to you? Why?
Bastante.
I don't know how to convince you of this, but I really do want to help you, to show you
Corre,
something
corre, Pai.
beautiful.
Ah,
Let me prove it.
Espera.
Let me
Mancher
prove that I'm on your side. Give me a chance.
Danger everywhere.
2v1. Corre.
Now listen carefully,
cool.
this is important. Stanley walked through the red door.
El buen azul.
No.
Perhaps you misunderstood.
Azul.
Stanley walked through the red door. I still don't think we're communicating properly. Stanley walked... All right, fine, go ahead, Stanley. You want to know so badly what's out there? You want to find out what lies at the end
Sí.
of this road you've chosen? Well, don't let me stop you.
Correcto.
You
Toma.
see? There's nothing here. I
Pero,
haven't
¿y eso?
finished building this section of the map because you were never supposed to be here in the first place.
Ay, joder.
Broken rooms, exposed developer textures. Is this what you had wanted?
Sí.
Was it worth ruining the entire story I had written out specifically
Sí.
for you?
Correcto.
Do you not think I put a lot of
Sí,
time into that?
totalmente.
No me seas unas así bits,
And in the end, it was
O sea,
all for nothing, because this is what you wanted to see. Help me here, Stanley. Help elucidate these strange and unknowable desires of yours. What would have made this game better? What did you want to see? Vehicles? Skill trees? Work with me. You've given me absolutely nothing so far. Tell you what. Let me take a stab in the dark at a new design, and you can give me some feedback.
Venga.
There we go. A third option.
Toma,
This
sí.
already feels
Sin duda.
leaps
Espera.
ahead of where we were
Espera.
before. Go ahead, Stanley.
But what?
Give it a spin.
Ve por la puerta del medio, algo
Vamos a,
así.
vamos a coger una nueva opción.
¿La nueva o...?
Yo digo una nueva.
Es que me da curiosidad si las puertas normales siguen normales.
Y me da curiosidad de la nueva opción. Entonces, venga, digo.
Ya, pero a la nueva podemos volver, podemos mirar los pasillos antes.
Pasillos antes.
Sí.
Ah. Toma.
Okay, I'm going to stop you there. Now, tell me about your
No te
experience
deja.
with this new version. Would you say that the game benefited from allowing you more
Sí, ¿no?
choices? Feel free to be honest.
Sí.
I'm looking for some real
Un
critical
4 porque el
feedback
5
here.
es perfección y la perfección no existe.
Okay, so we're getting somewhere. Clearly there's something here that speaks to you. If I can be honest here, I really don't have any idea where I'm going with this. This whole third door thing was just a stab in the dark. But I guess you're into it, so let's keep this party train rolling. Here, based on the data from your previous playthrough, I've compiled a new
Toma.
version. And to be perfectly candid, I think I've knocked it out of the park with this one. Let's take a look.
Harían una versión por números de cosas.
Portal. De Stanley, Parable, Warner, Liverpool.
Estos son los dos de verdad.
0,0 segundos. Genial.
¿Qué es esto, tío?
Vale, a ver, procede a...
¿Qué son
Ah.
rankings?
Did you know?
El 53% de los jugadores saltó la intro solamente
El de en medio.
Derecha está abierta. Es que como que tardó.
Lleva al mismo
Now,
sitio.
would you say that competitive leaderboard helped you feel
No,
motivated
no.
to keep walking through doors? Again,
No.
honest answers, please.
Un 2.
Hey, I nearly forgot. I've got a prototype of a new game I've been working on, and now would
Sigue
be a
trabajando
lovely
para
opportunity
complacerme.
to give it some playtesting. You wouldn't mind taking a look at it, would you? Perfect.
No.
Let me boot it up.
Toma.
Oh, Dios.
Toma.
In this game, the baby crawls left towards danger. You click the button to move him back to the right, and if he reaches the fire, you fail.
Déjale
It's a very
morir.
meaningful game, all about the desperation and tedium of endlessly confronting the demands of family
De hecho,
life.
déjale morir porque creo que no puedes no
You'll
hacerlo.
really take notice. But of course, the message of the game only becomes clear once you've been playing it for about 4 hours. So why don't you give it 4 hours of play to make sure it's effective?
Vale, guay.
Be sure
Seguro
to
que hay
keep
un
notes
ending.
on your experience.
Toma.
You heartless bastard. Did you do it because you hate babies or purely to spite me? Because if it's the latter, well, I don't know what to do.
¿Cuál preferirías que
I have no
cortase?
ideas. I can't think of a single thing that might improve the experience for me. I'm not even going to try. I'm out. I'm done. It's over. Thank you for playing. Your input was extremely valuable. Oh, hey, since my game was so awful, why don't we play someone else's game, just to ease the pain? Let's see.
Oh, Dios, sí.
What do we have here?
Oh, Dios, sí.
¿Qué tenemos?
Yes.
¿No te acuerdas de
Sounds like
este,
it'll
no?
work.
Sí, sí, sí que
Let's
me
give it a
acuerdo.
shot.
Vale, vale.
De este en concreto, sí. ¡Oh! Toma.
Well, Stanley, is this any better?
Toma,
At last, the
Minecraft.
one thing you've always desired. A game I had absolutely nothing to do with.
Toma.
But is
Y
it
debe
enough?
estar ya súper
Tell me that,
desactualizado.
Stanley. Will it ever be enough?
Y ahora el narrador va a pecar muy fuerte.
Espera, de verdad.
From now on, I will only create to fulfill
No, no puedes
greater
saltar ni
artistic
nada.
purpose. Watch this, Stanley. I'm going to build a house.
Por favor, mira su casa. Es un pecado horrible.
This will go here.
Pero mira, le voy a hacer la casa.
Here.
¿Pero dónde está?
Ahí, ahí. 180 grados.
Let's see.
Ah,
what
vale.
does it need?
Ah, la mítica,
Yes, of
la mítica.
course. And just to finish it all off, yes, it's complete.
La mítica.
I made this, Stanley. Look at it. Gaze upon my work of art and feel ashamed at your own inadequacy. But you've only seen it from the outside. You've only gotten half the experience.
Toma.
Please, step inside and make yourself comfortable.
Gracias.
Isn't it grand?
Esto es
Isn't it
increíble.
perfect? It could only be better if... Wait, that's it.
My God.
We must rebuild it out of diamond. Diamond everything. Yes, yes, yes. Come along, Stanley. We
¿Dónde?
have to go.
Venga,
mining.
vamos.
Oh, Dios mío, sí.
A minear.
Salta.
Oh, my.
Sí, miedo.
It looks like it's going to get a bit dark. Have you brought a light?
No.
Oh, no. This is far more open-ended than I had in mind. I'm looking for something more narrow and linear. Something that makes you feel utterly irrelevant. This won't do at all. 1 out of 5. Even the diamonds couldn't save this one. Okay, new game.
Mi juego favorito. About.com. Oh, Dios mío, sí.
Y ahora va y te pone Final Fantasy X.
Nada, es mejor.
Doom.
No.
Toma.
El fucking yes.
Yes! I don't even know what this game is.
Toma,
but
la
I
radio.
love it.
Fuera.
You,
Fuera.
trapped in a glass
Me acuerdo que
box.
tienes los controles de Portal.
Listening to me talk. Oh, it's inspiring.
Es normal,
I
estás en
couldn't
el
have done it
engine de
any better
Half-Life.
myself. What is this game even supposed
Sí.
to be? I can't figure it out. Okay, now I'm curious.
He ganado.
Let's go find out what the hell
Este es el
this
trueno.
is.
Me encanta que esto jamás pasa en un juego de Portal, lo de abrirte la puerta. Está abierto, ¿eh? Sí, esa puerta está... Exacto.
Oh, it's a puzzle. Critical thinking, Stanley. You're 40.
Gran juego.
Paramos.
Me encantan esas putas mierdas de Portal. En plan, estas mierdas me encantan.
Las salas
Sí.
ocultas, como si fuera una investigación.
En plan, porque te sugieren que te están mirando todo el rato cuando es mentira y me encanta.
I really don't care much
Del
about
uno, claro,
Star
porque
Wars
no el dos.
anymore of these
Tírate.
and I highly doubt you're
Tírate.
anyone.
Beta.
¿Qué?
¿Qué
La
es
beta.
esto?
De esto ya no me acordaba, tío. Pensaba que se acababa con Portal.
¿Qué es esto?
Este. No.
Estamos en el mod. O sea, ahora estamos en el mod de Stanley.
En el mod.
Sí, sí. O sea, porque lo que estamos ahora es como se veía antes de ser un juego propio.
Ah, ya.
Hola.
Qué puto miedo, tío.
Qué puto guapo.
Sí, pero la de screamers que te esperas aquí, tío.
Esto está guapísimo.
Taratara. Jugar a Slenderman aquí estaría bastante guapo.
Vale, ¿cómo
Poco se habla de lo eficiente que era Slenderman como juego de miedo y como juego competitivo.
competitivo Slenderman?
Competitivo. Conseguir esas 8 putas notas, su puta... What?
¿Esa es nuestra habitación de Stanley?
Da igual, sí, se supone que sí, porque es la 427.
Aquí está.
Ahí está.
Tremendo. Pues ir por ahí detrás.
Oh.
¿Qué? ¿Qué acaba de pasar?
I wonder what he
Apagó la luz.
found. If what he wanted was to be the leading man in his own story, well, perhaps he's gotten it. Down in wherever he is right now. I wonder if he's happy with his choice, and if he's learned the heavy cost that comes with it. He'll understand soon what I was trying to tell him. He needs me.
Es tío.
Someone who will wrap everything up at the end, to make sense out of the chaos and the fear and the confusion. That's who I am. That is what I mean to this world. Oh, yes. Yes, I'll be back. There's no other way. Once this ends, after it all comes to a close, then I'll be back. The end will be here soon. Very soon. I can wait.
Ni minuto.
The ending is lower.
Vale. Y ahora tenemos que hacer el final más relevante.
Venga.
Cierra esa puerta.
Pero podemos hablar de lo puta joya que es este juego.
But Stanley
es la
simply
polla.
couldn't handle the pressure.
Es la polla y
What if he had
Beginner's
to make a
Guide es
decision?
casi igual
What
de
if a
bueno.
crucial outcome fell under his responsibility? He had never
Me
been
encanta
trained
que
for
intenta
that.
jugar con
No.
todas las decisiones
This
posibles
couldn't
que
go
tomas.
anywhere except badly. The thing to do now, Stanley thought to himself, is to wait. Nothing will hurt me. Nothing will break me. In here I can be happy forever.
¿Puedes
I will
probar a
wait.
hacer algo con el ordenador?
Stanley waited. Hours
No.
passed, then days. Had years gone by? He no longer had the ability to tell. But the one thing he knew for sure, beyond any doubt, was that if he waited long enough, the answers would come. Eventually, someday, they would arrive. Soon, very soon now, this will end. He will be spoken to. He will be told what to do. Now it's just a little bit closer. Now it's even closer. Here it comes.
Toma. Hemos ganado.
Increíble. Nos han... Increíble.
Y ya
Cierra otra vez. Ah, no.
Pero que ahora
Claro, ahora
nos
es
han
diferente.
cambiado todo.
When Stanley came to a
¿Qué
set
hacemos?
of 2 open doors, he
Derecha.
entered the door on his left.
Derecha.
Pero como que ahora todo es diferente.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. Standing now in this incredible
Well, this-
room, Stanley for the
Eh?
first time understood true happiness. But eager to get back to business,
¿Puedes
Stanley
volver
took the
hacia atrás?
first open door on his
No.
left.
Oh.
Chicos, podemos hacer un final más y tengo que ir cortando, ¿vale?
Chachi.
Sí, yo
Vuela.
también quería cortar con este, pero no era lo que esperaba. Tira a la izquierda. Oh, no,
And
espera,
so
espera.
he detoured through
Oh,
the
no.
maintenance section,
Vale, dale
straight
puto
ahead
botón
to the
para abajo.
opposite door,
¿Qué?
and got back on track.
Dale ese botón hacia abajo.
No. No.
Oh, no.
Hostia, pero...
But Stanley didn't want to go back to the office. He wanted to wander about
Sí.
and get even further off
Correcto.
track. So now, in order to get back, he needed to go, from here, it's, Oh, no. No, it's to the right. My mistake.
Vale.
No,
Oh.
no, not the right. Why would I have ever said it was to the right? What was I thinking? It's clearly... Oh, dear, would you hold on for a minute, please?
Sí, un momento.
Se está confundiendo. Ni siquiera te lo está haciendo por mal, se ha liado.
Down, left, right. Yep, okay, yes. I've got it now. This story is absolutely,
palmadita.
definitely
Toma.
this way.
Para adelante. Oh. No, pero vamos a hacerle caso, venga, para adelante.
¿Y qué más hay ahí?
No sé.
Obvio.
Pero no voy a votar. ¡Oh, no!
¡Oh!
No. This isn't right at all.
Ah, vale.
We're not supposed to be here.
Spoilers.
This is all a spoiler. Quick, Stanley, close your eyes. Okay. We just have to get back to,
Mira, la pantalla de expedido está ahí al lado.
It's all rubbish now.
Por otro, por otro.
Completely unusable. How about, rather than waste my time trying to salvage this nonsense, we'll just restart the game
Vale.
from the beginning. And this time, suppose we don't wander so far off track, Okay, from the top.
Vamos.
Creo que si ahora sigues...
Sí, él lo cambia.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Correcto.
When Stanley... Wait, what? No, I restarted. I swear, I definitely restarted the game.
Me encanta como al principio la delivery era perfecta.
Oh, did something change?
Pero en plan que leyó la línea
Did you
igual.
change anything when we were back in that room with all the monitors? Did you move the story somewhere or... Hold on. Why am I asking you? I'm the one who wrote the story.
verdad.
It was right here just a minute ago. I know for sure that it's here somewhere. Okay, then. It's an adventure. Come, Stanley. Let's find
Una aventura.
the story.
Qué épico.
Creo que me estoy perdiendo.
Da igual.
Yo también.
Hooker.
Narrador, creo que me estoy perdiendo.
Ah, pensaba que te habías metido en un lot.
Tara. Narrador.
El narrador está tranquilito. Lo cual es raro.
I'll say it. This is the worst adventure I've
Oh.
ever been on. I can promise you there definitely was a story here before. Do we need to restart the game again?
Ay.
Well, I find it unlikely that we'll ever progress by starting over and over
Venga.
again. But it's got to be better than this.
Sí.
Okay, let's give it a shot. Why not?
Ojo, por fin encontramos algo, tío.
Venga.
Para...
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it
What could it
mean?
mean?
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. Okay, yep, it's worse. I might be remembering this wrong. It's possible the story is back where we just came from. Why don't we go back the other direction and see if we missed
Vale.
anything?
Perfecto. What the fuck?
Aha! I knew we'd missed something. The
Oh, no, it's a
story. Here it comes. No, wait. Never
Oh.
mind. Not the story. Okay, let's head back the other way
Vale.
and retrace our steps. What? Now this... Well, I'll be honest, I don't recognize this place at all.
Yo tampoco.
Is this the story? I don't think so. I can't quite recall, but I believe my story took place in an office building. Is that correct? Do you remember, Stanley? Well, do you know what? Since I've completely forgotten what we were supposed to be doing, how about this? You win!
Increíble.
Congratulations!
Y este es el último final que vamos a
You've
hacer.
done a lot of hard work, and it really paid
Gracias.
off. So, good job.
Good job. Toma.
No, I don't feel right about this at all.
¿Por qué no?
We both know you
Bingo,
didn't put in
hemos
any
ganado.
actual work for that win. Some people win fair and square, and this was not one of those situations. Okay? I'm getting weirded out by whatever this place is. I don't care what might happen this time. I have to restart.
Para.
Acabar muchísimo peor.
Toma.
All right, I've got a
Aventura.
solution. This time, to make sure we don't get lost, I've employed the help of the Stanley Parable Adventure Line.
Confío en ti.
Just follow the line. How simple is that?
Espera. ¿Qué podías irte por otro lado?
No, pero créeme. Hay que seguir la línea.
You see?
¿Por qué?
The line knows where the story is. It's over in this direction. Onward, Stanley, to
Vamos.
destiny. Though, here's a thought. Wouldn't wherever we end up be our destination, even if there's no story there?
Ah.
Or to put it another way, is the story of no destination still a story? Simply by the act of moving forward, are we implying a journey such that a destination is inevitably conjured into being via the very manifestation of the nature of life itself? Whoa. Hang on. That got a bit weird back there. Well, I'd like to apologize. Not sure where I was going with all that. You know what? I think what we need right now is a bit of music to lighten the mood.
Correcto.
Cut the music, go back and look at that fern.
¿Dónde?
¿Pero por qué?
Stanley, this fern will be very important later in the story. Make sure you study it closely and remember it carefully.
Tengo
You
memoria
won't want to miss
fotográfica,
anything.
puedes proceder.
También. Dios, pero...
Wait, what? We're back at the office? No. Line.
TM.
You do know we're looking
Line,
for the Stanley
TM.
Parable, right? The story? Is any of this ringing a bell?
A ver, tira para adelante. Porque además estaba llevándote por otro lado realmente. Y tira para... Exacto.
La Adventure Line TM. No.
No, not again, Line. How could you have done this to
Nos has
us?
traicionado.
After we trusted you.
Línea
Everything
T,
we've been
you
through.
really did
You...
this to
No, I
us.
can't take this anymore. To hell with it. Restart.
Restartemos.
Mima, pero este final es larguísimo, ¿no?
La línea vuelta.
Lo es. Pero es el final.
You know what, Stanley? I say forget the adventure line.
Tienes
What's it ever
razón.
done for us? We're intelligent people, right? Why can't we make up our own story?
Correct.
Something exciting, daring, mysterious. Ooh,
Como que va a estar
this
la
all
vida.
sounds perfectly doable. Why don't we simply start wandering in, well, I don't know. How about this direction?
Vale.
Eso es nuevo.
Now, yes, this is exciting. Just me and Stanley forging a new path. A
Me
new
encanta que hay
story where it
caminos
could be
donde estáis
anything.
amigos.
What do you want our story to be? Go
Juntos.
wild. Use your imagination. Whatever it might be, Stanley,
No, ya no.
I'm ready for it.
Oh.
No, not you again. Stanley,
No tú,
I also
TV.
like to veto the line from having any role in our awesome new story. No lines or monitor rooms. Just don't acknowledge it, and we should be fine.
El villano de Stanley es la línea. TM.
PM.
Ah, a
Obvio.
choice. We get to make a decision. From here, the story is in our control. How important we mustn't squander the opportunity. In
Tengo
fact, I
miedo.
believe I need a minute to think here. Just walk in circles for a minute.
Vale.
Okay. So
Pero
I
así duele
each
o
door has
así.
to lead somewhere, which means that somewhere, the place where we're trying to go, there must be a reverse door that leads here. And that in turn means that our destination corresponds with the counter-inverted reverse door's origin. So starting from the right, let us ask, will taking the right door lead us to where we're going? And since the answer is clearly yes, then by all accounts, the door on the right is the correct one.
Vale.
Another
Voto
victory
por
for
hacerle
logic.
caso, porque en
Come,
este ending
Stanley.
es nuestro
Our
amigo.
Sí,
destiny
es nuestro Mike.
awaits.
Es nuestro top.
Ah, vale, tampoco nos dejaban a otro.
Oh, hold up, what's this? The confusion ending. You're telling me
Tira para la
what
derecha.
this is? It's all one giant ending? And we're supposed to restart the game, what, eight times?
Parece ser la
Really
mitad.
how all this goes? It's all determined?
Pero éramos amigos.
So now, according to the schedule, I restart again. Then what? Am I just supposed to forget? Well, what if I
Pero
don't
espera,
want to
deja.
forget?
Sí.
My mind
Lee el
goes
final.
blank simply because
Spoiler.
it's written here on this thing wall. Well, who consulted me? Why don't I get to decide? Why don't I get a say in all of this? Is it really?
Find the line
No,
of
it
game.
can't be.
Find an
I don't
identical
want it to be.
replica of the
I
office.
don't want the game to keep restarting. I don't want to forget what's going on. I don't want to be trapped like this. I won't restart the game. I won't do it. I won't do it.
Estoy contigo,
I won't
narrador.
do it. And the timer stopped. Does that mean did we do it?
Hemos
Did we
ganado.
break the cycle? The,
Perfecto.
whatever it is that made this schedule? How would we even know? Will someone come for us? Will something happen?
Pues,
So, okay.
What?
I guess now we just wait. You know, I suppose in some way
Siento.
this is a kind of story. Wouldn't you agree? I'm not quite sure if we're in the destination or the journey, though they're always saying that life is about the journey and not the destination. So I hope that's where we are right now. We'll find out, won't we? Eventually. Well, in the meantime, if
oh,
No. Si de casualidad tienes, te iba a pedir un petillo.
El juego se reinició solo.
y ya, ¿no? O sea,
No acabó, en teoría. Rollo, sal, en plan.
all of this
Si seguimos ese horario,
what could it
no
mean?
acabó.
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Pero vamos por el quinto reinicio, ¿eh?
When
Dale por la
Stanley
derecha.
came to a set of two open doors, he entered the door. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well.
Espera, venga, un día
Perhaps
igual.
he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. Stanley
Vale,
felt
sí, ya está, ya reinicié el
butterflies
todo.
in his stomach.
That was the
Eager
ending.
to get back
Ah, no.
to business,
Ah, sí.
Stanley
Vale.
took the first open door.
Pensé que era
on his
puerta de
left.
inestado. Pues si quieres salir ya, ya hemos hecho los importantes.
pues chachi. O sea, este juego es la hostia. Y
Sí, este sí que te recomiendo que, ahora que hemos hecho unos cuantos, que le des un rato tú fuera de stream, Blue, y que mires las cosas que te apetezca. Los
sí,
animes
sobre
que
todo
te apetezcan.
como te gustó Ice y así. En plan, este juego va de eso. Y más allá de eso, tanto a ti, Blue, como a la gente de stream o de lo que sea, este juego aún vale la pena jugarlo por ti mismo, porque la experiencia es un poco distinta. Y The
Correcto.
Beginner's Guide, para mí, que es el siguiente juego que hizo Davey, es genial. Es más dramático, como quien dice, la historia impacta más a nivel personal, pero porque es muy personal, entre 100.000 millones de comillas, aunque no es necesariamente cierto. Y tanto en esa como en esta, también ayuda a ver el tráiler. En plan, ver el tráiler del juego ayuda un poco, porque te introduce un poco a lo que es el juego, pero sin spoilearte nada. No te está vendiendo el juego, te está vendiendo una premisa falsa.
Sí,
Y en mi opinión, por ejemplo, Beginner's Guide te hace una cosa que, bueno, no es spoiler porque es el principio del juego, o sea, es la premisa general del juego. Para mí es una adaptación bastante interesante de lo que sería un documental o un falso documental aplicado a los videojuegos. En plan, por ejemplo, en BioShock hay comentario del director.
Sí.
Pues coge un poco eso sobre determinados juegos inacabados, esa es un poco la premisa. Y el narrador, que en este caso es completamente ficticio, es Davey. En plan, es Davey hablándote. Creo que era Davey hablándote. Y a mí me encanta Beginner's Guide. A mí, en general, me impacta más Beginner's Guide, pero en mi opinión está mejor hecho Stanley Parable porque está más currado a nivel de del propio medio, en plan, del propio hacer videojuegos, la limitación de las opciones, en plan.
sí, es
No,
mucho más meta respecto a los videojuegos.
Totalmente, todo lo que hagas varía totalmente, es increíble.
Y en
sí.
parte puede hacerlo.
Antes o después te cambia todo eso.
Y en parte puedo hacerlo, porque eso ya lo hemos hablado bastante ahora que ya hemos hecho algunos juegos de en plan como los de Detroit, como los de tal, en los que se tratan, como los de Wolf Among Us, en los que se tratan opciones. Este te muestra un poco lo que es el absurdo de las opciones usando assets, en plan, hace assets muy sencillos que son reutilizables. Entonces, realmente puede trabajar cuál es el llevar las decisiones al absurdo y burlarse un poco de las propias decisiones y en lo ajardinado que es todo el modelo de crear mapas, de crear los propios videojuegos. Y como juegos como los de David Cage especialmente, porque tienen un alto nivel de trabajo, es imposible, porque tener una opción más en determinado punto de la historia llevará mucho más trabajo de forma exponencial en cuanto más se extienden las consecuencias de esa opción. Entonces, o no importan, o importan, pero tienes poco trabajo. Por ejemplo, todas las decisiones importan, incluso eso, hacerte una run implica que puedes llegar a otros finales que no podéis acceder previamente, pero porque estos assets son de copia y pega. Que conste, está currado, o sea, inició como un mod, pero está currado a nivel logístico, sobre todo.
Sí.
Y a mí me encanta, me flipa, o sea, y espero que este pavo, el Davey, siga haciendo juegos y siga intentando, no, eso, o sea, seguir haciendo juegos, experimentando con lo que es ser un videojuego, por ejemplo. Pero mola,
Ojalá.
es una pasada y poco más, no sé.
Venga, vamos a dejar al señor Blue dormir.
Voy a cortar
Sí,
el stream,
vamos a
espero que
dormir
lo
todo el
hayáis
mundo.
disfrutado. Yo sin duda ninguna me
Sí.
mola un huevo y le
Es
voy a
una
pegar un toque.
pasada.
Beginner's Guide es un juego de el otro, ¿no?
Beginner's Guide es el siguiente, sí.
Cuéntate de Gunner's Guide porque a lo mejor lo podemos mirar también.
No me lo voy a empezar.
Sí, el Beginner's Guide puede que lo juguemos. Todos porque,
Pues ahora
porque es mucho más lineal.
Vale, pero,
El
vale,
Beginner.
vale. Es que le
El
tengo muchas
Stanley
ganas.
hemos visto igual la mitad del juego.
No me
Del
esperaba.
Stanley.
sí, más o menos.
Me esperaba. No sé por qué con vosotros me espero cosas relativamente buenas, pero me acabo de quedar sorprendido.
Ah. Es distinto, porque no es tan narrativo. Entre 100.000 millones de comillas no es tan narrativo como lo que a mí, por ejemplo, normalmente me gusta. Pero yo admiro muchísimo este juego.
Pero no es narrativo, pero es que a su vez las interacciones que tiene el narrador contigo, todo tipo de interacciones que tiene contigo,
Funcionan.
parodias mentales que se monta él solo. Cuando tú estás repitiendo en el sótano un bucle constante y él básicamente te está diciendo, Stanley está escuchando mi voz, se está pensando si es un sueño, estás metiéndote en temas de existencialismo, así de gratis, solamente en un final. En otro, de repente, te quedas
Y yo,
en nada mirando las estrellas.
y yo admito dos cosas. Primero, el efecto no es tan fuerte estando varios, porque solo esto impacta más. Y segundo, nos tocó un final al principio que yo creo que no impacta tanto, a no ser que hayas visto los finales. Porque es el final de estar tan harto de elegir que te matas solo. Y te da pena. A mí, por ejemplo, el último que hemos visto me encanta, el de la Adventure Line, me encanta. Pero me encanta el Adventure Line y inmediatamente después que te toque el primero que nos tocó, en el que te suicidas. Porque tienes la mente, o sea, porque no antagonizas tanto al narrador. No lo tienes como un enemigo, lo tienes como un posible amigo. En unas timelines sois amigos. Entonces me gusta, me encanta. O sea,
Me encanta el sonido de fondo del menú, tío.
Sí, y por ejemplo, que igual no se notó, pero hay los sonidos de tecleado, antes eran del propio teclado mío. O sea, antes... No, se sigue escuchando. ¿Escucháis tecleos?
Sí.
Bueno, ahora, porque le di sin querer, al escuchar inputs, los pone.
This is the
Yep.
Y poco más.
Venga, a la cama todo el puto mundo.
Venga, nada.
Y un poco
Hasta
más.
otra, chicos.
Hala, chao,
Buenas noches.
chaito.
Chao, chao.